Ladies and gentlemen, hustlers of all ages, welcome to the Six Figure Playbook with your host, Alan, the Ace Man Dickie.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Six Figure Playbook podcast. I'm your host, Alan, the Ace Man Dickie. Super excited to have you all here this week. We're coming live on the road, in the vehicle. We're moving. We had to get this podcast done this way because we've got a lot of travel on the schedule these last few weeks. So what better a time? You know, we're cruising down the road right now. Just finished a week working with 4 different dealerships. An absolute epic experience there. And with that being said, we're not going to leave any of you listeners hanging without giving you some nuggets in this week's episode. So what do I want to talk about this week? The topic is simple. We're talking about judgment. All right, judgment. This is one of the things I can't even believe that I'm doing an episode on. Can you believe that? Like here I'm saying, okay, each week for the Six Figure Playbook podcast, I need to deliver some valuable tips and principles that will allow all of you listeners to benefit literally the same day you're listening to them. So when I'm coming up with the topics that I want to discuss, you know, it's very important that they meet my expectation, you know, to deliver the value I expect to deliver to all of you. And the fact that I'm about to do this episode on judgment blows my mind. I'm not kidding you, folks. It blows my mind. But it is something that is necessary even today to address. And what am I talking about when I say judgment? I'm talking about passing judgment on your potential customers, your potential clientele. It is crazy how often I see this. So I want to go into a story, and this was a personal one. This is what caused me to say, I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I got to do an episode on judgment. And it was me getting an oil change. So I drive an Infiniti QX80. We call it the Marshmallow. It's a big SUV, and I gotta say, man, shout out to Infiniti. This is an absolute phenomenal truck. I love this thing. It's awesome. It's been great to me. All I do is put gas in it, which is a good thing, because that's about all I'm capable of doing. But that's for another day and another topic. So anyways, I'm going in and I'm getting my oil change. You know how the deal goes. Pull into the service drive-thru. Hey, Mr. Dickie. Hey, how you doing? Give me the oil change. Cool. I got a little bit of time to kill. So while I'm killing the time, I go inside the dealership, right? And I always love this. You know, I happened to be getting an oil change on the day I had a golf game I was playing. There's a news flash. But I had been golfing that day. So, you know, when I'm golfing, I like to express myself. I got a little bit of a flamboyant outfit, if you will. Truth is, I look like the Incredible Hulk. I mean, I got the fluorescent green shorts, green shirt, the red hat. It's crazy. But, hey, I played really well that day. Anyways, I'm sitting in there and I'm just a customer wearing a really loud outfit, okay? But I'm going through the showroom and I don't want to talk about how long or short it took for somebody to meet me. Forget all that. Here's the important thing. As I'm cruising looking at their product, they've got a new QX50, 2019 QX50 that's come out. I took a look at this thing and I saw, I guess, the model that, you know, was the top of the top, the upgraded interior, the wheels, the dual exhaust, blah, 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 panoramic roof. It was a gorgeous looking vehicle. Now, the funny thing is my wife is actually, you know, been on me. She really loves this car and she's like, I want that, and I want that. So, yeah, hey, listen, happy wife, happy life. You've all heard that before. Needless to say, I'm in the market, okay? I go in there and I'm taking a look at this vehicle. So I sit inside the vehicle, and when I sit in it, I'm actually taken back. I'm saying to myself, wow, this thing has got just as much room as I'm sitting here as a driver as my QX80 does. Cool. I'm starting to think about all the times I'm going to steal my wife's car for, you know, a trip or two. Don't tell her that. But anyways, so I'm taken back by this. And the point is I'm starting to get really kind of hot and excited about this vehicle. I'm also thinking about, hey, maybe this is a birthday present. Who knows? The wheels are turning is the point. And I'm inside of a dealership. So you know what I represent, folks? I represent a potential customer. After looking at a vehicle and sitting inside the thing, all of a sudden I went from a guy killing time to a guy who is heavily interested in this particular product. I'm sitting there and young man comes and addresses me, and I introduce myself to the young man. And I say to him, hey, how's it going? Look, you know, I'm looking at this vehicle here, this QX50. Tell me about it. And he starts to tell me about it. And the dude was cool. You know, I was enjoying him. He knew about the vehicle. We were having a good dialogue. Everything was cool. The way it ended is I explained to him, I said, you know something, I'm only here for an oil change, but I'm in the market for that vehicle. I'd be interested in finding out some payment information on it. Now, here's the thing. I'm looking at this vehicle, and the first question I say to the guy is, I say to him, hey, listen, man, what's the interest rate over 84 months? Now, a lot of people look at that, and right away, they start to pass judgment. And this is dangerous, folks. Let me tell you something. It's not overly important, but I could write a check for that car without blinking an eye and just buy the thing. But the reason I'm asking about the 84 months is because anybody who has money loves using money that's not their own, especially when it's free. What a concept, right? Somebody wants to lend me $65,000 for 7 years for free? I'm taking it, man. Give me that dough. I could do a lot of things with that type of money instead of writing a check over to you. So, hey, again, this episode's not on financing vehicles and the best options for. The episode is about judgment. So, whether this individual figured because I was asking about an 84-month term, he questioned how legit a client I might have been, who knows? That's not the point, and I'm not accusing him of passing judgment at that stage either. But what I'm telling you is I was asking some questions that can cause business owners or automotive sales professionals of any ilk, could cause them to potentially run the risk of passing judgment. Let me fast forward the story. What ends up happening, I give this gentleman my number. I give him my email address. He's got my contact information. And I tell him, I'm in the heat, man. I explain that I work in this industry. So I let him know who I was. And I'm like, I got the heat. I'm interested in this vehicle. I said, I'm a busy guy. Here's my information. Send me the payment information over 60, 72, and 84-month finances. I want to see what those options look like, and as well as a cash price. I asked him to send me this info. Here, as I am recording this episode to you today, we are 6 days removed. I have not heard anything from this person. Nothing. And then I work with sales representatives, business owners constantly every single day. And they're talking to me about, oh man, it's a tough market out there. Oh, it's a tough go, Al. I just can't seem to convert. I'm having problems getting the business. I'm not selling the units, Al. I hear all this stuff. And yet the same people are the ones who aren't calling me back. Look, folks, this week's episode is really simple. And I wanted to share that story to give you the illustration to let you know why this was on my heart this week. Because again, it blows my mind that I've got to do an episode to ensure that not one of you listeners out there are passing judgment on potential customers. It is the most dangerous thing you could do in your career. Let me break down how you're supposed to go about conducting business, folks. Business owner, sales representative, it doesn't matter. You have a sales process. You become married to it. You see, through that consistency, you'll actually be able to gauge how effective your process is. If it's effective, keep it. If it needs tweaking, tweak it. But when you get to that version of your process that is sufficient and is doing the job, you repeat that the exact same way with every single client. It's through that consistency you can actually map out how much action is required to attain your desired result. If you're not doing this, you are kidding yourself. You have no idea what works. You are operating like a blind squirrel who finds a nut once in a while or a broken clock that's right twice a day. You've heard me talk about this in the past, and it causes you to pass judgment. In my automotive sales career, I knew that every time I spoke to 10 customers, 5.5 to 6.5 of them were going to sleep. We were going to close business. Why? Because I've got a consistent process. I know how to ask the right questions. I know how to identify the perceived challenges of the customers. Hashtag that was covered last week's episode. And I know how to deliver the features and benefits of the product, service, thought, idea, or concept that I'm presenting. And in turn, I know how to logically justify as to why customers should take ownership of that right now. That's why I'm able to do that. But what I never do and never would do is pass judgment on any potential client in front of me. They all get the same treatment. Now, if you're an automotive sales professional and you understand this and you operate under these rules, then this is very simple. If you end up talking to your first 4 customers of the month, let's say, and none of them buy anything, you don't become disheartened. You don't become disappointed. You don't start to prejudge people. You don't become psychic. No. You say to yourself, life is good and the next 6 people that I get in front of are all going to be deals because my numbers state so. You understand what I'm saying, everybody? Create a consistent sales process for yourself. Adhere to it, stick to it, do not deviate from it, okay? And give every single person who is giving you their ear the same experience. Never judge people, folks. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be buying this particular vehicle. I'm going to be getting it for my wife. Can't believe I just said that. I hope she doesn't tune into this episode, but it's happening, and it's not going to happen with that individual. And that individual is telling somebody right now, oh, well, that guy wasn't enough. He was just in there for an oil change. He's not doing nothing. And that dealer's missing out on a piece of business as well. This is frightening. So my message is simple, folks. Do not pass judgment on anybody in life and especially in business. It is the kiss of death. And I guarantee you, those extra deals and those extra pieces of business that are keeping you up at night saying to yourself, man, I really need that. I wish I captured that. You'll start capturing it. Do what I'm telling you here, folks. Now listen, if you're a business owner out there, if you're an automotive sales professional who doesn't have this roadmap, who doesn't have this exact sales process and doesn't know how to map that out, you need to get in touch with me. This is what I do and I'll change your life. There's many out there who've experienced what I do and the processes I instill in their businesses and in their careers. Just Google the name. You'll see the reviews and what it's done for them. And it can be done for you as well. You can always reach out to me through my website. A lot of my information, all my content is run through there. But hit me up, message me, send me an email, alandickie@alandickie.com saying, Al, I need a sales process, brother, and I need to triple if not quadruple my income. Help. And I'll be there to answer that call. Folks, that's another episode of the Six Figure Playbook podcast. Super excited to have had all of you along for this episode. And you're probably saying to yourself, Ace man, that's common sense. But it's at this moment I'll remind all of you, common sense is not always all that common. Be smart about your careers this week, folks. You're looking for me, you know where to find me. Reach out. I love hearing all the feedback on a weekly basis from all of you, and I just want to continue to wish all of you incredible weeks, incredible paychecks, and incredible performances as we all march together in the name of becoming powerful six-figure performers. Make it a great week, everybody, and I'll see you next time on the Six Figure Playbook podcast.